Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Dong Report, where I give out my favorite MLB home run picks for the day. Now, we've had a lot of success on the entire year with these home run picks, but unfortunately, we are in the midst of a cold streak. Yesterday, I gave out 3 picks on this YouTube channel. We didn't get any of those 3 to cash. We end the day down 3 units. That now makes it 3 straight days in which we have not gotten a home run to be hit, which hurts. But prior to that 3-game stretch, we had gone 5 straight days where we did make money. So you've experienced the highs and you've experienced the lows. Overall, our total profit on the Dong Report is now at 53.7 units. We are up 53.7 units with an ROI of 11.34%. That's obviously still incredible, but the recent slump, 0 for 9 slump, certainly isn't fun. As for today, I got 3 more home run picks for you guys to lock in. If you are not already, would appreciate it if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel, and let's chat some dongs. So play number 1 in the Braves versus Mets game. This is game 1 of the doubleheader. Game 1, need to be clear about that. We're going with Matt Olson to hit a home run at plus 215 odds at FanDuel. So a couple things. When you're in a cold streak, no better way to get out of that than to go with a player like Matt Olson, who is awesome. Now, I'll admit, plus 215 is on the lower side of the odds that we've gone with, but he's still positive expected value even at that number. The OddsJam positive EV page has him as a plus EV play, even at plus 215 odds, as every other book had his odds below plus 200. So even at plus 215, you can still get some value. It doesn't matter on the odds themselves. It only matters on the odds compared to the rest of the books. So Matt Olson didn't hit one yesterday, but he did hit one the day before, and he's got 4 home runs in his last 10 games. He's also got 40 home runs on the year. So yeah, quite a good power hitter. Now, for this game specifically, game 1, the Mets are going to be throwing out an opener. So you don't want to put too much emphasis into the matchup between Matt Olson and the player that they're having start. But that pitcher is so bad that it literally might only take 1 at-bat for Matt Olson to go yard. The pitcher is Danny Reyes, and his stats are brutal. He's got a home run per 9 of 2.45, a home run to fly ball ratio of 28.6%, and allows a barrel rate of 14.3%. If he had pitched enough innings to qualify, literally all 3 of those stats would be worst in the MLB. So that's how bad he is. Again, Olson might only get 1 at-bat against him. It also might be the only at-bat he needs to hit a home run. If you want to take Olson to hit 2 for this game, I wouldn't hate that either. Obviously, we are just tracking 1. And if you really want to laugh, you should dig into Matt Olson's advanced metrics. This is on the entire season. Massive sample size. He's got an ISO rate of 33.4%. Now, ISO rate stands for isolated power. Anything 25% and above is considered excellent. He's at 33.4%, which is the second best in the entire MLB of all qualified batters. Then you like to look at barrel rate. How well does a batter hit the barrel of the bat? His is at 18.7%. For barrel rate, anything 15% and above is considered excellent. His 18.7% is also second best in the entire MLB. Ohtani is ahead of him in both of those categories. Ohtani's been insane, even with this recent cold streak. Ohtani's just ridiculous. But we're talking about Matt Olson, and when it really gets crazy, where it really is just nuts, if you look at the last 2 weeks alone, for batters, I like to look at recent sample sizes as well, recent stats, because how a batter did in April doesn't really help us. In the last 2 weeks alone, Matt Olson has an ISO rate of 48.9%. That is just ridiculous. Very confident that Matt Olson is going to hit a dong for us tonight. Next up, in the Rockies versus Dodgers game, we're taking Max Muncy to hit a home run at plus 290 odds at FanDuel. So Muncy is another fun player to back when you are in the midst of a cold streak. Muncy has come through for us before on the Dong Report, so we like that. So Muncy had the day off yesterday, but the last game he did play, which was 2 days ago on August 10th, he did hit a home run. Prior to that, he had hit 2 home runs on July 29th in that game then. Muncy has Schwarber vibes where he literally either just strikes out or hits a home run. And the pitcher that he is going up against today is much more likely to hit a home run than he is to strike out. Again, Muncy is another candidate for possibly hitting 2. If you wanted to do a ridiculous parlay, 2+ home runs from Muncy and Matt Olson, I wouldn't hate that. The pitcher the Rockies are throwing out there, and he is not an opener, but still really bad, is Peter Lambert. So his stats aren't quite as horrible as the Mets pitcher because he does have a larger sample size, but they're still really bad. Home run per 9 of 1.69. He allows a home run to fly ball ratio of 15.6% and allows a barrel rate of 10%. All those stats are really, really bad. He's also a right-handed pitcher, and Max Muncy has pretty decent splits, better splits against right-handed pitching versus left-handed pitching. His ISO rate against lefties is 24.7%. That's obviously not bad by any means. It's considered great by Fangraphs standards, so still a fine number. But that number jumps up to 30.5% against right-handed pitching. That's obviously squarely in the excellent category. Now, if you isolate at home versus right-handed pitching, and this is on the entire season, his ISO rate jumps up to 34.4%. So pretty decent sample size, 34.4% ISO rate at home against right-handed pitching. And then obviously you want to look at how he is performing recently. But if you just look at the last 2 weeks alone, without any other qualifications, right? Just the last 2 weeks, his ISO rate is at 40%. And then if you narrow it down from there, it keeps going up, right? You narrow the last 2 weeks against right-handed pitching, that number jumps up. You narrow the last 2 weeks at home against right-handed pitching, obviously a tiny sample size, but his ISO rate is like 60%. So just insane. Small sample size, you don't want to put too much into that. But very, very good stats overall for Max Muncy. Love for him to hit a home run for us tonight. Next up, our last pick of the evening. In the Brewers versus White Sox game, we are taking Luis Robert Jr. to hit a home run at plus 390 odds at FanDuel. Now, Luis Robert Jr. has been very good to us. He was part of the 3-for-3 day we had 2 weeks ago where we got all 3 of our home run picks to cash, and the last good day we had where I got 2 of 3 to cash, he was in that as well. So just manifesting the good vibes with all 3 of these players. Had to end it with Luis Robert Jr., who was part of the ultimate vibes. This is also a very, very good weather game. 4 home runs to be hit. Very juicy from a weather perspective. So obviously that helps as well. Overall, Luis Robert Jr., he's got 31 home runs on the year. He's got 2 in his last 10 games. Now, he hasn't hit one in the past 2 games, but obviously that'll change. He's another batter that has insane advanced stats. His ISO rate overall on the entire year is at 29.2%. So massive sample size, 29.2%. That's very good. I mean, excellent. I should say that. That's excellent. And his barrel rate is 14.7%. That's not quite excellent, but that's still great. And that's obviously still good for our perspective. Now, he has awesome splits both against left-handed pitching and right-handed pitching, but he is slightly better against righties, which is what he will be facing today. He's another batter similar to Muncy that if you look at his stats against right-handed pitching also at home, his ISO rate jumps up pretty decently at 34.2%. He's a good batter at home. And if you look at home since the All-Star break, which he did have a slump at the beginning of the All-Star break, so this is still including that, even with that slump. If you isolate since the All-Star break till now, at home against right-handed pitching, his ISO rate is up to 35.7%. Now, even better if you look at the last 2 weeks. So I love Luis Robert Jr. tonight. I wouldn't quite put him in the 2+ home run category like I would Muncy and Olson, but I do love all 3 of them. It feels like a 3-for-3 day. We're going to need it. Remember, I put 1 unit on each of them straight up, and then I put about $5-10 on the parlay itself of all 3 of them. So if you are tailing, comment and let me know. Other than that, remember to like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.